Welcome to Charts Today. My name is David Linton, and today's edition for Thursday, the 9th of July, comes to you from London. And we see a mix of colours here on the screen this morning, but it's mostly green, and so markets still just holding steady. The dollar index is still bearish on that short and medium term chart, which means that the euro is actually bullish against the dollar on the short and medium term charts. Remembering this is my long term, my medium term, and my short term picture. Dollar yen's little changed. Sterling is actually looking stronger this morning, up against the US dollar, sitting at 126, and the against the euro also looking stronger. So we're seeing a resurgence in sterling post that budget statement yesterday, and against the Swiss franc 118.5, again making new highs for the week. Against the Aussie dollar, we're sitting at 181, so they're looking a bit more bullish there as well in the short term, although we see really the decline against that stronger Aussie. Bitcoin still sitting in the doldrums around 9,300, not much change there, although we are starting to trend up, but overall we are in a sideways range with Bitcoin for the last few months. The US stock market was up last night, the S&P 500 index up 0.75%. Still holding bullish above the cloud, but of course this June 8 high that we've seen is what we need to break to be confident that we are going higher, and so we are at a little bit of a range at the moment. The Nasdaq though is breaking higher, and a lot of this has been driven by the tech majors, of course. The Dow was up by much the same, 0.2%, and looking more bullish here still. The futures this morning, we're seeing the S&P future down 0.25%, and the Nasdaq E-mini is up. So market set to open mixed based on those two different signals. One thing we are watching quite closely is the VIX volatility. That has just been steadily increasing this week. There's fears of a second wave of the virus just starting to creep in here. So we are just watching that VIX volatility. Interesting again, the June high, the June low we saw on the VIX. We haven't gone lower, so that's really a thing to watch as well. UK market is down on the future, down 0.5%. The DAX future is actually up, so we're seeing Germany actually up over 1%, so still looking pretty strong there. Price is just a little bit stuck in the weekly cloud there, but looking pretty good all around. The CAC Current is fairly flat. Japan was also flat. Hong Kong is up 0.3%, looking bullish on the medium and short term, but that long term chart still has work to do, so that was quite key. And the S&P, the Shanghai Composite continues its massive week. And we see this great big weekly candle here with a gap out, so that is looking very bullish, holding on to those gains in China. And the Indian market was up over 1% as well. Aussie market up 0.6%, so holding gains there. Still not getting into bullish territory though, the resource stocks having weighed quite heavily. Gold sitting at 1812, so we've broken the $1,800 level quite convincingly, making 11-year highs here on gold, so that's pretty key. And the interesting thing is 1920 was the previous all-time high, and we're now only around $100 from that, so it will be interesting to see if we hit resistance there. Bullish on all three time frames. Silver also bullish on all three time frames, although not breaking the 2019 highs yet. US 10-year yield sitting in the doldrums, still at 0.2%. So taking a look at the energy mix, we start by looking at Brent crude. Remembering this is now my medium term, my daily, my shorter term, the 60-minute chart, and my 1-minute chart. So the way to think about this is really that days means weeks, hours means days, and minutes means hours. So this is really what we expect to happen today. This is what we expect to happen this week, and this is what we are looking to in the longer term. So medium term, in the next few weeks, we are still sitting bullish. We have curled over a little bit on crude and we are sitting flat, but we are holding the gains, and we are fighting resistance continuously on the cloud. So that's quite bullish still, even though we're down slightly today. WTI is also holding its cloud position, and we do have short-term upside targets here as well. US nat gas sitting at 185, really stuck at these levels, awaiting storage numbers today. The storage numbers spooked last week, so it'll be key to see what happens this week. Coal has pulled back, but it is still looking pretty bullish, having made this transition above the cloud. Price is just coming into the bearish zone here, but for the moment looking pretty good. We do have a new downside target there. Emissions just couldn't break that €30 mark. That's the level that we hit last year, and we are just pulling back a little bit here. We do have a fairly mixed picture, but for the moment the trends are still very much in place. MBP front month we're seeing down 3% this morning. That's just putting MBP back into slightly bearish territory there, and if we look at TTF, we also come back through that €6 mark, so that is just hitting some resistance there. The recovery is happening, but it's just going to take some time. And if we look at winter gas, we see here that we are also just slowly but surely recovering here. We've got good upside targets there as well. And German power sitting at 42.25, holding the €40 mark. We do have downside targets on the 1 minute chart. On your OTC data on Trayport, this will be slightly different, but we can see here that we are still very much in recovery mode on power. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.